Does anyone have a question? I'd like to just say something that, I want to share my gratitude. People send donations and it really touches. Please try and not drink water until it's over with. And it's very touching to me to receive that because it really tells me people care, and I'm certainly not getting rich on these donations, but it helps pay, for some of the rent and food and this and that. But more importantly, people care, and whatever people send, it comes from the heart and they're saying thank you for these meditations, that I can participate in them. I try to help out a little bit so that, you can take care of your bills and stuff like that. And it just really touches me deeply inside. I mean, if people don't have money, this is not about money. I mean, people just have to get strong enough to overcome their fears of money and living in some kind of poverty consciousness and overcoming it. It's just energy. And when you tap that energy inside, all of these different fears go away. And one's creative ability really rises and capacity to do in life really rises. And I think to me, that's all it is, I mean, people have to build systems inside that overcome these fears of success, money, relationships, and all these things that go on in life that in many cases are very difficult because, when we deal with them, we step into the world, we have to deal with a lot of people's egos and all this stuff. And it kind of frightens people inside to do these things. Once you build that system, that chakra system is strong enough, the fear goes away and one can actively live in the world, and overcome these elements in ourselves that are, frightened, as I say, one of the biggest one is money, and probably the second biggest one are relationships we have with other people, whether they're marriages, family, jobs, friends, social intercourse with other human beings. All of this is essential because we're born here to learn how to live on the earth and to be happy people. And if we're so tight in ourselves about all these things, that joy, that ananda, that love, it's not going to ever manifest in a profound way. We'll get turned on, but that doesn't last. It goes a day or two, a month, maybe a few months. And then, we wind up taking things for granted that happen to us. We wind up taking people for granted that are in our lives. And that really is something that does a lot of damage to human beings. So it's what I talk about all the time, developing the kind of system that overcomes these kind of paralysis of behavior in us that keep us from truly living in a state of unconditional love, surrender, depth, gratitude. Gratitude is the big one. And gratitude is not just lip service gratitude. It really is something that you experience through your actions, through doing in the world, unconditionally doing, through the love you have for other people and the willingness to do for them, because the love that you experience from them comes back to you. And we all kind of give each other a reason to be alive, And I think there's nothing wrong with that. It's just developing maturity inside, a strong inner life, a chakra system, that really is rooted and the heart is open. We overcome all of these fears in ourselves that keep us from ever functioning here and working out our karma. So as I said, when people, I get these, PayPal and Zella and Venmo and all these, and, sometimes it's $10, sometimes $100. It to me, it's just the sheer thank you that comes from people that really touches me deeply inside. And it inspires me to do this work because, I'm not getting rich doing this by any means. I used to get rich when I was selling very expensive art, but this is something else. This is something that is done out of sheer desire to do my service in life and to serve God and to transmit all of these things I've learned in my own life. And hopefully it'll help people that come to these classes to grow and develop their own lives. So I just wanted to share this with all of you. I get very grateful, and simple things make me very grateful. My daughter cooks a meal, and her boyfriend cooks a meal. I mean, I couldn't ask for more in life. It is just a treasure, to sit down and eat the food that is made with love, and also their gratitude for what I do for them in their lives, So it's really something very precious to be able to share this with each other and to, understand how gratitude is essential if anybody is going to learn to live with their hearts open. And gratitude is not just, I'm grateful, I'm grateful. It really comes from your actions. It comes from the gifts you give people, what you can receive from people, what you can give to people. And these don't have to be, $1 million things, I mean, simple things, I remember, I'll never forget, I was sitting in Rudy's store one day and a guy comes in there with a bag of M&Ms, I mean, and Rudy took those M&Ms. You would think you just received the crown jewels, and he opened the packet, he gave one M&M to everybody sitting around him. He hugged this guy, he thanked them. It was incredible, And the reason for it, it came out of the person's heart. It came out of his heart, and it was a treasure. And, I feel I live the same way. Little simple things like that really, make me feel that the work I do in this world is really worth it. So God bless you all. Thank you. Does anyone have a question about any of this?
Stuart?
Yes.
What to do if you are just giving and others are just taking?
If you're what?
If I experience, I have giving to some people and they are just taking without giving back something.
Flora, we all have people in our lives like that. And what I've learned is I stopped giving to people that just take. I really have stopped it, and I got tired of it because in my life, I have had tens of thousands of people come through my life in these meditations and all kinds of situations. And part of my life was always giving unconditionally, making room, for other people to come. And, no matter what it had to cost me, I would make room like that. And eventually I said, it's enough already. People have to say thank you. There has to be something in them that's grateful. They have to receive unconditionally, and they have to be willing to give something unconditionally. And it doesn't, again, it could be a flower, it could be a cake, it could be could be $5. I mean, it doesn't matter, but if it comes out of the heart, it's a great treasure. And we have tendencies of constantly giving to people that take and don't give anything back. We really do. And we're used very badly in life, but that's a sign of our own immaturity. We feel guilty because we have to give something, we think we have to give, but that's just immaturity. Maturity is to say no. No, I don't have to constantly feed your vampire nature, that keeps sucking my blood. I don't have to do it. And I won't do it anymore in my life. I really won't. Honestly, even in these classes, if somebody doesn't show up for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I don't hear from them, I just take their name off the list. And then I get people, whoa, why did you, I want to be in class. I say, well, you don't come. You know, you don't invite people to your house who never show up. You know, they're not, they're not welcome guests. And I do that. I really do. I don't know how many people I've taken off this list. That, oh yeah, this is great. I love it. I want it. And then I never see them. So I take their names off the list. And if they want to come back, they're always welcome. But I tell them, if you don't make a concerted effort to come here and do your work to grow spiritually, I'm not interested in having you as a student. A psychologist charges, $200 an hour to not even give people what I give them here in these classes for virtually nothing. And if people don't make that effort, I'm not interested in anymore. You understand? So it's a sign of maturity that we can say no. We really can say no to people that just take and take and take and never give anything back. So you have to grow up and you'll stop feeding people like that. Even members of your family, you'll stop. Say no, go out and support yourself. I mean, I'm living with my daughter here and I told her, we have to make your, and she's making her life work. And she's so grateful that I came here, I'm supporting her, I'm helping her to do this. It's costing me a ton of money for her to do this. But yet, my God, the things that are happening to her are totally staggering. And it all started to take place because the commitment I made. And the reason I'm willing to make the commitment even deeper is because she's doing her work. And she's getting amazing return for it. If she didn't do the work, it would end. I would say, okay, go with your boyfriend and live your life and work out whatever you have to work out. I've done my contribution, but what I see coming back is really staggering, I'm telling you. So it's a sign of maturity to say no to people. No. And people ultimately, they get older, they have to work out their lives. We can't keep people at home and nesting them for eternity. They have to ultimately learn how to grow up and how to live in the world and really make their lives work. So, you can't just look at the other people. You have to say, well, what am I doing to attract this? What in me is attracting, vacuum cleaners, that are human beings in disguise, And you grow up, you get stronger, and then you can say, no, I'm sorry, I can't continue to. And then you find people that are so grateful that you give to situations which you get something amazing in return. Somebody's heart opens. Somebody can say truly thank you, and not just with words, but in the love they bring to you, what they give unconditionally to make your life a little better. It's how we start treating ourselves as human beings, And I know, Flora, because I've been through it. I've had people sucking me dry in my life, I've had business partners that did it. I've had all kinds of people like that in my life, And at one point I said, it's enough. I don't have to continue living that way. And sometimes it forces other people to grow up. Not always, but sometimes, occasionally. Small percentage of them grow up. Otherwise, they just find somebody else they can suck dry, I know this is a tough subject, but anyway, we got to listen to tough subjects also. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? Okay, again, thank you. And God bless you all for being here. And I just hope that you will take this home with you and use it in your life and let it truly help you to build a system in life that really enables you to function on a really, really high level. And I mean, just having gratitude, love, unconditional giving, receiving, having people around you like that. So bless you all and thank you. There'll be a class on Thursday and I will see you all then. Bless you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.